Hello everybody. We're looking at doing line and wash today, which was something that somebody was interested in having a go at, and it is actually quite a useful thing to have in your toolbox. So there are, starting off really with the tools that we'll use, and I've got a whole bunch of things that I've sorted out from my paint box, etc. And you could use a sketching pencil. You'd need to be looking at using a 3 or 4B, so something quite substantial in the way that it works. Then there are choices of permanent marker pens, fine liners. I've got a fine liner here, which is a 0.3. Ideally, a 0.5 would be better. This is really quite fine, but good for fine lines. And I've got another one here, which is called a B, and much darker. It's got a soft tip and it makes a thicker line. Now, all of these are permanent. Of course, you've got the trusty biro. Always handy if you're out in the field and you see something and you've got a pen and a bit of paper with you. You can just sketch with your biro. Another thing which is quite fun and gives you quite an organic line is to use some kind of pen and ink. You could be using a sharpened stick, a feather, or something like a pen, a nib pen, and the sharpened stick is actually good. You just have to keep dipping, and it makes quite different lines depending on which side of it you use. This is called black drawing ink. It's Indian ink and it is permanent. But if you were to use, for instance, Quink or something like that, that would not be permanent. And it would move when you paint with it or over it. So, I've just sketched out these briefly. So on top of the sketch, I'm going to use my fine liner. Put those down. And just sketch in, and it's quite a good idea just to do it in a sketchy way rather than using rulers. And I'm sketching in the basic shape of the bridge here, including the reflection under the water, under the arches of the bridge. So really just following my sketch here. Get the bones in. I'm hoping this one doesn't run out. Obviously, if you don't have any of these tools this time, the biro is the way to go. And you can sketch on top of a pencil drawing or straight away with your biro. And this is Sequoia's Bridge yet again. Most of you will recognise, I know. Okay. So there's that little sketch, and from this point you can then block in some colours, and I've just mixed up a few watery washes just to block in. And something for the bridge. Some nice colours in it, this bridge. But you can see now I'm touching the pen and it hasn't moved. things that do move, for instance, are gel pens or ordinary, just an ordinary felt tip pen would also run, but they can be quite useful in using the run itself. Right, I'm just going to go in and do the shadow as well of the bridge. And we'll go in and get the underside. And in a way it's quite nice if you touch into the already wet paints there. And this one's got a nice light area there. So add in a little blue over pinky. And some blue for the rest of the river. And that works really quite nicely. You can build up more of a drawing to start with. If you want to, let's just pop in a bit of grass at the same time. There we go. Now the one below, obviously I've just gone in with very wet paint as above. And with this one I'm going to use the B, the more soft fine liner or liner, and just work over on top. Just touching in places. So really not a continuous line. But you can really get some definition then on the actual bridge itself. Let's carry on here. So these are the sort of two methods of using it. One is to go in with the fine liner first, and the second one is to fine line, or to use your wash, your line second, not your wash. Let's have a bit of a underside of the bridge. Like that, and then using my fine liner again, put in the parapets. Could put in bits of stonework if you want to. I'm not really following the actual photograph here at this stage. I could have a go with my stick. Put some definition into the water here. The stick's lovely because you can just scratch with it and get different textures. Have a go along here. Perhaps mark in a few of the stones. But there, that's the idea. Now I've got a painting here that really needs a little bit of attention, and so it would be a good idea for me to, at this point, using the fine liner, go in and put some definition into the church in this one. So I can do that, and really you can use it for anything. Perhaps draw a little horse's head here. I'm assuming you can see what I'm doing. And you can paint that in as well. And it's nice because it's quick too. So if you were out and about, say, some very good tools to use, definitely. There we go. Give them a little bit of a mane. So very nice for suggestive work, and also for tidying things through, making things stand out better. Okay, I hope that helps. Bye bye. Happy painting.